colors creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.
Men, women, nuns, and embers, welcome to Burning Questions, the show where we get down and dirty with the disease to get the answers we want. On tonight's episode, we have the daring, diseased but delightful Gwenmara. Welcome, Gwenmara, to the show.
Hi.
Could you give us a bit of your cliff notes of your life so that the audience get a picture of who is underneath that cornet?
Hi, everyone. My name is Gwenmara, the Plague Doctor Nun. I am pretty much just with your average doctor slash nurse slash nun. I'm sorry, I'm still, it's like the morning for me. I'm drinking tea. But yeah, I'm, the Plague Doctor Nun. My skin is gray because of a plague. But during a bubonic plague series, with my ear rat, with the whole rat sort of thing, I am made, wait, am I? Am I hallucinating?
No, you're right here. Everything going well?
Okay. I'm sorry about that. So anyways, listen, I'm so out of here right now. I just got off work. I am
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah?
Again, one last time, let's do this properly. My name is Gwenmara, the Plague Doctor Nun. Pretty much, I come from the era of bubonic plague, where the rats reside, and I am pretty much the queen of the rat army, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I do come from an orphanage, raised by a nun, hence why I became the holy nun I am today. And my mentor is a plague doctor. You must all know about SCP-049, I want to say, I believe.
Ah, okay, yes. I am familiar. We had Dr. Heavy here not that long ago, and they really explained much of who this person is, at least, to an extent.
I love Dr. Heavy.
I'm pretty sure everyone does, especially my audience. So, before we start with the burning questions, would you like to give us, we got a redeem earlier. Would you kindly give us 3 facts about yourself?
3 facts about myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new one, actually. One big old fact is that I'm actually...
Yeah? No, don't worry about it.
No. Okay, one big factor is that I'm actually, No, I can't say that. You know what? I think of things to say. I'm like, no, that isn't Twitch appropriate.
Don't worry. Don't worry. If it isn't Twitch appropriate, I don't mind. I'm like trekking on the line between what's Twitch appropriate right now. Also.
Okay. So one factor is that I wasn't always a nun. I actually, was on the corner prostitute. I had to make that money during the plague, during the bubonic state. Yeah, because it was hard making money, and it was pretty messed up. But we're not gonna go too deep into that, only because it is pretty wild. But yeah, another big fact is I'm a huge Skyrim nerd. I love RPG games. Skyrim is like my top tier game. That was something I will always love. Another third fact. This one, let me think. Okay, another fact. My cup size is 42G.
Yo, okay. Out of all the things that were gonna be said, I didn't expect that. 42G?
Yeah.
I need to get familiar with these cup sizes because I've not from I only know like from until these. Holy fuck. Okay. I mean that's one way to start burning questions then.
yeah, gotta start off innocent, then go deep in. But me, no, I'm just
That
always
was hell yeah! This gonna be a great episode, everyone. Uh, so so without further ado, let's start off with the first burning question. That is, of course, being an orphan. Do you remember anything about your parents?
um not as much. I do have a picture of my mom. Okay, I do have a picture of my mom actually. The picture actually is the rosary on my chest. Was actually from my mother.
Oh, so
Um,
it's not of the Great Madonna. It's actually of your mother, right?
yeah. Actually, the one you're thinking about is this one right here, which I
Yeah.
keep on my waist. Yeah. No, the one on my chest is from my mother. It was given to me by my nun. She gave it to me. Like I had it since I was like a baby,
Mm-hmm.
but like I didn't know it was from my mom until like Sister Mary told me that when I was like 12 years old.
Ah, okay. That's really interesting. Did the sisters of the convent tell you anything more about your parents?
Actually, not really. Besides, my mom was crying before she gave me away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the reason behind that, but they didn't really tell me much. Maybe it's like an orphan secret like that. Can't tell them so much about their parents and they'll start missing them. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So, considering that you were born at, that you were raised in an orphanage, can you tell me like what life was like being raised by the sisters? Are we talking about like a Nacho Libre situation where all the sisters are like super nice, or are we talking about like a Promised Neverland situation, or a horn hall from Skyrim, if you remember that?
So it wasn't like that. No, I hated her. But I know you're talking about too. No, I hated her. But no, as far as the orphanage go, it was pretty. It was more like it was a mixture of the Skyrim one with a loving one. Is more so, hey, follow the rules of the church or you will be put into a corner. So children who didn't follow the chapel's, well, I want to say chapel because the orphanage was part of a chapel, because our watchers were nuns. But yeah, if you didn't follow the rules of the I'm having a brain fart my word today. If you didn't follow the
Don't worry
rules of
about
the
it.
orphanage, pretty much you were sent into timeout. I, was one of the people that was sent into timeout a lot of times. Our timeout's actually just a little box, we get sent to a box in the corner. But yeah, I've been in there so many times at this point. It became one of the mandatory things to start following rules, just obediently. They said obedient children are the best children. So with that in mind, it was okay if you followed rules. Other than that, you just got like the ruler and then the corner.
Okay, I see. Did being disciplined by many of those how should I say, religious higher ups actually like affect your view of those kinds of people?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand the question. You rephrased it.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. Did being punished by the nuns like affect how you view the overall system of the church?
As far as that would go, it's a yes and no because my mindset right now is only for the church. But like as far as like thinking in a plague doctor sense of form, with my doctorants, it's real. I'm not a doctor. Come on. But as far as that goes, as a psychiatric point of view, I think it kind of mentally scarred me.
Okay, I see, but it still managed to find its way into not really find its way into your mind, but like it molded you to still have some faith in their work, which is why you're still a nun right now, or did you become a nun for separate reasons?
I became a nun because I still have faith in what they were going for, and I understand, the sick must be cured, and the only way to cure them is to send them from God, and the only way to send them to God is many ways.
Okay then. That that's starting to make a lot of sense now. Seeing like who your mentor was, but we'll get to that very soon. But seeing as how you were a nun who was raised by other nuns, can you tell us like what happened to your life like growing up? Because most orphanages like allow the kids to like leave like at a certain age, or of course stay in the church but as a uh, body who works there. So did you immediately leave the church when you were, let's say, 16 or 18, or did you end up just staying at the church for financial reasons?
So as far as the church goes, I actually was there for a very long time. I want to say I was around the age of 16. Actually, oh my God, you're you're somewhat correct. Yeah, I was around the age of 16. So what happened around that sort of era was pretty much that you all know the bubonic plague.
Yes,
So
the big
that started
that
to
kills a lot of people. Not the plague that's happening right now in Terra, by the way.
Yeah.
Separate
so that
plague.
started to take effect around the area, and it went to hell in an actual, literal, and metaphorical type of way. So around the church, because of the whole bubonic plague,
Mhm.
it made it harder and harder to keep financial stability corrected. So, the church started collapsing as well as the village around us. And people started trusting each other less and less, and the orphanage here had to, fend for themselves. So it was more like a dog eat dog type of world at that point. So after that, honestly, the whole orphanage situation was just pretty much null.
Okay. So with the orphanage, just what happened to the people of the orphanage? Did they just die from the plague, or did they migrate to like a different area? Because I can see like two situations where the like in some case that has happened in Northern Europe, wherein a lot of places were not only fully still had a population that just ended up like dying off, to other areas wherein people just migrated, but that didn't really help much. I find what happened to like the personnel? Did they just die off, or just um that they just die off, or did they like migrate?
As far as the orphanage go, I don't really. I think that like the nuns there. So personally, I wouldn't know too much because I was like the second one to leave. But as far as like that one, most of the orphans actually kind of were on the street, and that's where the whole prostitution thing goes. Again, as I didn't want to talk too much about it because as a minor, I don't want to like say that, but yeah, I had to make I had to make some money. I had to do what I had to do. But as far as the other orphans go, I don't know too much about them, except for Jessie. Jessie actually became a thief, and I actually learned a bit from her as well. She learned the way of thievery really while she was still in the orphanage actually, and when she kind of the whole thing kind of started collapsing down, and most of the orphans either like went off, or some got disease and they pretty much had no one to fend for them, so they kind of just died off. But I want to say half of them did survive. But as far as that goes, Jessie, she became more of like a high-end type of thief. You can actually, I forget her last name, but she was actually really famous during the time too for being a thief. I'm trying to remember her name.
It's
I
not
know it's
Pinkman, right?
I'm sorry?
It's not Jesse Pinkman.
I don't think so. If it was Pinkman, I'll definitely know that. Wait, is Pinkman is that a joke I'm missing?
No, don't worry about it. It's a Breaking Bad reference.
Oh my! I actually never watched Breaking Bad. I need to watch it, right? I never watched Breaking Bad. I know. Listen, hear me out. Breaking Bad was like one of those shows where everyone hyped it up, and I was just like, it's too hyped up right now. I don't really like it.
That's very fair. I only watch it like years later, also.
Yeah, But there's one quote you said. I am the one
Who
who
knocks?
knocks.
Yeah.
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 That was
But,
an interesting quote because a lot of people misinterpreted it.
wait, why? What do they mean by that? Then?
Okay, it's not what he meant, it's what the writers meant. Because from what I've read about, it's that Walter White actually when he said that, it wasn't meant to prove like how much of a badass he is. It was actually meant to prove how much of an a-hole he is, because he just didn't he was essentially being an abusive husband and just like wanted to just prove that he's like the man that he's like not only like the man of the house, but like the man of the man of the man of the man of the house, like the highest among all men. But he was also like shouting and like being like strong arming his own wife during then, so it's not really something that people should be appraising.
Well, that's I guess the more you know. Wow, I didn't know that.
You'll eventually find out when you like actually like play it. I mean, watch the show.
Oh, wait one second here. Let me pull up my. Here we go. Sorry, I had to grab my tea.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Go on.
I'll just say that there's a lot of things that has occurred that a lot of people like don't understand until like much later. One of those things that I've actually followed up on is like your history with the bubonic plague. The main reason it started is because how should I say, the rats were actually imported from the East. They said that its origins is either the Middle East or Western China. But when Genghis Khan created the Silk Road, they not only brought wares and things from China to Europe, but also they brought in rats. It's rather interesting, like how just a series of things like ended up with like half of the population of Europe dying.
That yeah, just about half. The actual amount was actually around 46%, I believe. But yeah, it was,
That's a lot.
yeah. And keep in mind, this was during the first attack.
Oh yes, this was like during early on when freaking, which is also to add on that Genghis Khan effectively used the first forms of what's it called, viral warfare, by launching dead bodies riddled with like bubonic plague over city walls.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, not gonna lie. But I love the chaos.
No, don't get me wrong, the chaos is hilarious to watch, and also it's kind of messed up like seeing how like people have found ways to kill each other from everything from like sticks and stones to just using dead bodies.
Dude, oh my. Alright, like, oh my, listen, hear me out.
Mhm.
During those times, you had to do what you had to do, you know? So, any necessary.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
anything necessary to survive during that time. It was pretty wild. But thankfully my mentor picked me up, very shortly after the whole thing. They kind of it's a long story, but pretty much they picked me up due to like witnessing some of my abilities, I want to say, I possessed and showed. So it was nice, It was and it showed me a lot of being, on the plague doctor side with experimenting with people a little here and there, getting to see different bodies.
I see.
Down to drugs, so.
That's actually the next question, the next burning question, which is can you tell us about the masked man who has helped you? I understand that their name is what was that? SCP
049.
Oh yes, 049. Yes. Can you tell
So
us like more about them and your relationship to your mentor?
So I actually know them. They actually told me their name, which apparently I'm not allowed to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as they go, they so I looked at the stories now. I would say fanfic of them,
Mm-hmm.
which is somewhat true of them, but I wouldn't say 100% true. I think some of the files were a bit, you know, tampered with.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as my master goes, he was a very great man. He really stood by his projects. He had a lot of projects and he had a lot of things for me as well. When he seen my ability to talk and manipulate the rats, he seen it as more of like a gift rather than a curse. Because I assumed, hey, doing a bubonic plague series, me controlling rats was also a very bad thing because, I'm pretty much a walking disease at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And my gray skin didn't help with that. But he seen me as a gift, and as he brought me in, he told me he saw a future where everyone was healthy, everyone was cured, everyone there was no more disease, everyone was forever young. Um, as far as he goes, I'll just call him Jay.
Okay.
Uh, I'll just call him Jay for now because SCP-49 is going to be like a lot to say every time. But
Yeah,
yeah,
fair.
Master J pretty much had this idea that if he can use my abilities, control the rats, and the rats control the plague, and the plague was something of a disease that was formulated from a bunch of other chemicals. If he can harvest that chemical to have a reverse product, he can make it something, of a cure. And that cure would also benefit the humans, making them a bit stronger because, as you know, humans evolve. We don't see it physically or, mentally or anything like that, but every
Yeah.
generation or I think it's every 5 generations, we evolve a little bit. We either have more abilities last longer in like water, we have more strength, we have more intelligence. It does follow on, even with evolution from machinery. He told me that, hey, every human is unique in their own way. Everyone has a different biostructure. Everyone has a different DNA strand that lets them be them unique self. And as far as that goes, he taught me many things. He was honestly a very great man, and just talking about him actually gives me.
Don't worry, I get it. It's just losing somebody who was close to you, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. So, Master J was somebody very close to me, as you can tell. So, I'm sorry, I'm getting everywhere today.
Don't worry about it.
As far as Master J goes, I just want to, make everything brief and as fast as possible. Pretty much, they had a paradise they had in their mind, and a lot of people didn't see eye to eye with that. They didn't like his ideal of experimenting with people. But honestly, one life can change many. So I think
Oh,
what he
definitely,
was
yeah.
doing what he was doing in the long run made sense. But during the time, people didn't see that. But it was even worse because it was the plague time. We definitely needed a cure during the time, but no one wanted to be the experiment. No one wanted to be the tester. And a lot of people did not like that. And as you know today, as I texted you via the Discord, my master no longer with us, and he done everything to protect me. So I'm sorry, I started rambling on for a bit, but go on.
No, it's okay. You can keep talking about your master if you want, but I just find it interesting, like how people have changed their perspectives on experimentation. Because um, I'm gonna like give a example here that I've recently like heard of that has actually like really intrigued me because the perspective can change between like a lot of people. Particularly, there was this experiment performed by Nazi Germany during World War II on a various amounts of people, not just the Jews, but like various amounts of POWs, right? But this particular experiment has led to discoveries and treatments for frostbite. So the thought process here is it okay to effectively experiment on people because because it will lead to successes. It will lead to the successes of research, or is it morally wrong to do because it's still hurting people? But if you don't use those experiments, it's like saying that these people died for nothing. It's a really interesting dilemma that I've seen like people argue over. Considering your identity with experimentations, do you agree with this? With this theory wherein it's okay to experiment with people as long as it benefits people at the end of the day?
I actually do agree with that, unfortunately. I know a lot of people don't agree with it. I apologize, 1 second.
Don't worry about it.
No, I do agree with it, actually, only because I feel like one human life has great value and potential. That is true.
Definitely.
But what if their potential was to be an experiment? What if they had the sort of genetics that allowed us to further advance ourselves and find cures even faster? Like, say for example, cancer. Cancer is very hard to pinpoint only because there are multiple different forms of cancer, different stages, as well as there's no real reaction to it, no real way of activating cancer. But say there's this one human who actually has the sort of genetics to tell when it can be activated, to tell when or how to stop it. But, as moral stand, we can't experiment with them to find that answer. We can't further our research without experimenting on humans. It sounds, kind of sad because we're finally experimenting on pigs, rats, and, monkeys, because rats and I apologize. Mice.
Sorry?
Mice and monkeys have around the same genetic strands around humans, which is why that we experiment them on them more. But is it not morally the same to experiment with another life, such as a human? Are you saying monkeys and mice don't have, they affect the ecosystem? So essentially, messing with them still has the great value effect of messing with a human. Despite, a human obviously giving more value in life because it benefits us. What about the mice lives? What about their family? Wouldn't it benefits them more as well? But no, we took them away from that and we experiment with them. We don't see anything wrong with that. But, I digress on that. But as far as my standpoint goes, I think experimenting on humans would be morally proper.
I actually do agree on that, but it's I think like what people have an issue with is less the actual experimentation and more on the fact that some people just view experimenting on people just morally wrong. The thing about it is we already do it like on occasion. The issue is it's just that we do it in ways that some people deem acceptable. One thing that we can point out is with how some people are like my arm is made of metal. Experiments were done for generations just for like the metal arm to work. Of course, it's not like a biological thing, but one of the other things we can talk about, vaccines to make people immune to certain diseases like smallpox have been tested on humans. I understand that it takes a while before it reaches human trials, but it still makes sense to use some of these researches to better help people. I just think that there's, to an extent, that these researches are just valuable information. This show was built on valuable information that we should use because it already exists,
I appreciate you for saying that. I do stand by the same viewpoint as that. So, as far as it goes, I will stick my my 2 cents on that to keep that, to make that push forward rather than going to like a lot of more documents. Like, as far as human volunteers go, I feel like there's way more people that want to volunteer for the greater good, but because of like regulations, we're not allowed to, have those people as far as acceptable. I apologize. My throat's kind of dry lately. I need to take a drink in a moment.
Don't worry. But yeah, I think it's just like a matter of time before humans begin to fully comprehend like how important experimentation comes, and there are already people who are donating their body to science, but it's just a matter of time before like people see the true value of, well, human experimentation to an extent. We just have to like wait for it. I hope.
I sadly I don't see that coming. I've been here for almost 700 years, and I can tell that humans are very selfish, unfortunately.
That is also true.
Yeah, so I don't think it's ever gonna be a thing. I think it's just gonna get further worse the more greed, expands.
That is also
Which
true, I
is a
suppose.
sin.
That is sadly true, though. But on the bright side, well, not really bright side, I suppose. Humans, there are some humans who are pushing boundaries of like what is and what isn't allowed to be experimented humans. I mean, we have like some things like what Elon Musk is really trying to do with like the brain chip that they want to implant to humans. I mean, that's definitely gonna need human trials.
I love Elon Musk.
A lot of people love Elon Musk, but yeah, I love his flamethrowers. Before we move on to the next question, we have a guest question from, redeem or again by Sister Simply, for another fact about yourself.
Wait, do I read the question or do I?
The question and the fact are like two separate things.
Oh, okay, I'm good. Okay. Another fact about myself. Trying to think. Oh. So actually, another fact about myself. My skin. Well, no, that's pretty obvious though.
Don't worry, it counts.
Another fact about myself. Okay, this one's pretty dumb and obvious, but my skin actually comes from the plague, which I never knew until I got older. But as far as that goes, I do. No, 1 second, I'll be right back.
And we're back. Yes, you were saying. Oh, outfit change.
Yeah, this is actually my disguise. I, quote unquote, put on. But in actuality, this was originally my skin. This was originally my skin.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I actually. Oh, there we go. Let's say that. So actually, and here's a fact. I'm actually half Native American and half African American.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So
But-
you're half Native American, half African. So, actually, we'll get to that later. You just could continue.
Oh, as far as that goes, the yellow here actually was inspired by my nun. I apologize. And the blue eyes is natural, and the skin is actually natural. Just the yellow hair is not. My hair is originally black, but I was like, let's spice things up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of people like change their hair color, like from, let's say, natural brownish black to pink. That was an interesting color change, but it does look pretty cool. But yeah, your blonde is not actually natural; it's colored.
Yeah, that's. I call it my human disguise because I was always made fun of for my gray skin. Also, my hair is pretty silver. That is natural as well. It kind of became that way as time progressed.
I see. So considering your considering that you had a disguise, does it mean you spend like hundreds of dollars to like makeup a month? That sounds like it's gonna cost a lot just for foundation.
Well, that's where the plate decker, sense goes into. It's nothing but pigment changing, which is a chemical reaction in your skin. So it's pretty much
okay.
easy. It's easy to make your own makeup,
Fair enough. I actually do recall like how some how some dyes were like made before. Like I'm talking like like way ancient times. How like some dyes were actually made with piss, and I'm just like, sounds right, but it's still gross.
Um, it was more so the extraction of piss.
Yeah.
But, it did contain a lot of lead in it as well, which was really,
Also
really
true.
poisonous.
Yeah.
Which is why it was banned for a good while. It was banned for a good, I think, 3 years. I want to say.
I'm
But
pretty sure
they became
it's
illegal.
banned until now.
No, I mean like during the time.
Oh,
Because
okay, yeah.
they found out the reason why, so it became like a legal commodity that the rich actually, smuggled in just to look pretty. Yep.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that. I actually do recall a story like in Victorian era England, how a lot of women used to use lead paint, not lead paint, lead makeup on their skin because it made them lighter. But it made them lighter because it was essentially like pulling out it was essentially like poisoning them. I just found that rather. Of course, we know this now that it's bad, but I just still found it like really, really somewhat amusing. Like, how bad can things get? Like, they didn't even like properly test it. They said, "Yep, that's the effect. Yep, it's not affecting me right now. Okay, it's okay now."
Yeah. And that's where the human experiments come in handy at.
I suppose like at those times there were kind of human experimentations, but like not as sophisticated as like in the later 1920s and above.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just rather it's just rather interesting like how you were able to manage a disguise that doesn't like involve like losing a lot of money.
Yeah, no, as far as money goes, it would seem like it paid a lot, but not really. I kind of just come here and there and help those in need. That's all.
Okay, that's nice. Being the classic Good Samaritan type character.
Oh, good. Wait, what?
No, it's just like doing good deeds just because it should be done, right?
I guess you can say that. Yeah.
I can respect that. Anyway, let's move on to the next burning question, which is, considering that you haven't been killed by the plague and it's already part of your body, and with evidence pointing towards fleas, not the rats themselves, is it safe to say that your rat specifically, are the medieval equivalent of a disease-carrying aircraft carrier?
Yeah. Pretty much. There's a bad word here.
You just had them
They're
prepared,
my-
didn't you?
Yeah, I have everything prepared. Yeah. I love these little guys. Honestly, yes, they do carry the plague in a sense. Yes, not all of them though, but just a good, let's see, 60%. Yeah, 60%. Carry the plague. But as far as the rest of them goes, I do give them a little squeaky clean bath. Nowadays, like back then, it was majority all of them, but nowadays I think a good 12% only carry the plague. But it's actually not the normal plague you think about. It's not the bubonic plague. It's actually a new strain of plague that has been mixed up with COVID, the bubonic plague, and the monkeypox. It's a heavy dosage. It actually kills you in 2 days. But as far as that goes, I keep these little bad boys with me so you don't have that sort of problem, you know?
Okay then. Well, I don't have that problem right now, but is it safe to conclude that you also control the fleas themselves, or are you just not? Do the fleas just not affect you?
Yes, but I apologize. I literally like zoned past the flea part. As far as the fleas go, they actually are still on the rats. I would say that I control them, but in actuality, I don't.
Okay.
I more so control the rats in their mental state. But as far as my pheromones give off, I believe they do. Like, I can't say I experiment with my rats because I feel like that'd be morally wrong in my sense. Because I love my rats more than I love humans. So
That's fair.
experimenting on them would be like killing my own child. So as far as like seeing the fleas, I don't know too much about them, but I do know that I do give a pheromone that do like repel them.
Okay, I suppose that's a good thing, right? Just like having an effect on the uh having a certain, not a direct control, but just controlling like where they go, considering that you have some rats with fleas on.
Mm-hmm.
That actually is pretty cool. So how many rats do you personally own like right now?
Um, I don't really like to say the word own them. I love each and every one with their own individual person. But
Okay.
as far as ones that stick around, surprisingly, only one. And that's my little one, Ratty. These little guys, they come and go, you know?
Okay.
But as far as the one that sticks by me no matter what, it's Ratty. He's a pink tail, pink eared, red eyed rat. And I love him.
What's it?
Unfortunately, go on.
No, I was gonna like ask like what's its pelt color? Because like this entire time I've been like imagining a pure white rat.
It's black.
Ah. Okay, okay.
Mhm. He's more distinct. Like these guys in my Jota are gray, but he's like pitch black.
Okay, I see. So he is not necessarily like the leader of the pack, right? Or is he?
Listen, I want to believe he is because he was the first one ever to show up to me.
Mhm.
That's how I learned about my powers. And as when he showed up, others came up. So I want to be under the assumption he is, but as far as I know, I don't think he is.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption to have. Did this certain what's his name? Reddy?
Yeah, ready.
Did I'm assuming like this Reddy has been with you like this entire time, so this rat is also effectively immortal.
In a sense, yeah, because listen, as I said with the morally wrong experiment with rats, I can actually listen to their thoughts. Ratty wanted to be with me for a very long time, so
That's nice.
despite it being wrong, I decided to give them a bit of my blood. And a little bit more than that. It's not just my blood, but I can't give you all my secrets.
Okay, did this did oh sorry, did Reddy have red eyes before or after your blood?
Before, actually, they
Ah.
did change his name. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So I thought, it's
interesting.
weird. It was weird to me at first because you never see a rat like with red eyes and like super pink, tail and ears, especially with a pure pitch black body.
Yeah.
It's something very unique. But, yeah. So as far as that goes, Reddy was one of a kind in a sense.
Okay, I see. Let's move on to the next question. I know plenty of parts, like around the world generally, were hit by the bubonic plague, and even until recently, it's also been affecting like parts of the US, but we'll get to that later. But where are you specifically from? Are you from parts of France? Considering that you have Native American and also African heritage, I'm a bit weary of like where your origins and where the origins of this what was it called, orphanage is at.
So as far as that goes, I love you a lot, crazy, but hear me out. Some secrets are best left undiscovered.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. We had plenty of guests here who'd rather not spill their secrets. We've had one who I exposed as an eldritch being. That wasn't Dr. Heavy, by the way. There was another eldritch being. Thinking about it, I am getting a lot of eldritch beings now lately.
But as far as my origin goes, I can say that your geographical knowledge is actually almost accurate. But I'm not gonna give a heads up,
Okay.
because actually, it is a real place. It isn't just just humanity made up lore.
Yeah.
Actually, my lore is actually depicted from real life. Because, in a sense, I am real.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
So if you do research, was your girl an orphanage with gray skin? Potentially. Was there a church named under this name in this specific area? Because of their Native American and African American descendant? Probably. But hey, I will just leave that to your mind.
Okay, I see. So you do have some. I keep forgetting like what the term is. Universal manipulation. Well, not really manipulation in a sense, but a way of molding. Actually, that's probably the correct word. A way as like molding the word, just like not directly by you. Would that be safe to assume? Or
Wait, I'm a bit confused on that one. What do you mean by that?
okay, because after talking to Dr. Heavy, I've been researching more on her Dr. Heavy's abilities are based around the perspective of people, not really the manipulation of properties. I've had Zeno whose whole abilities do manipulate properties. I'm just wondering, is yours just purely secretive, or do you have a universal manipulation abilities? Like, can you shape the world around you by just by thought, or is it strictly just down to your plague abilities?
Strictly down to my plague abilities. I'm not that extravagant. I'm more so just. Let me think about this. So think of like the boogeyman, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I show up when you're sick. I show up when I hear, someone in dire need of assistance. When I hear that your last ends with that can be assisted, I'm here for you. I show up here and there. So as far as word manipulation goes, I guess you can say I have a little bit of space control. I apologize. Space control, as in like I show up in different planes of existence. But as far as anything else really goes, not really. No, just a
Okay.
plague.
Just being where the plague is at, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that is rather interesting that you say that, because are you currently on the world of what some people call Terra, more colloquially known as Earth, right now?
Wait, I apologize. As in like I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? That it came a little too fast for me.
Are you still on Earth right now?
Yes.
Are we talking about like the current Earth where there's a lot of VTubers living there?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, because I was doing some snooping around and you said that you were in a place where there is the plague. And the latest case of the plague was found in 1924 to 1925 in Los Angeles, California, which spread to parts of Texas and Nevada. So, what I'm asking is, are you responsible for that?
I I I I have no idea what you're talking about.
1924 to 1925, a bunch of rats ended up spreading it to dogs. The dogs ended up spreading it to cattle and sheep and so on, to the point where a small, well, relatively speaking, a small patch of land had to be, well, not really a small patch of land considering it was like an entire state, was quarantined due to the spread of the bubonic plague
I
from
will give you a hint,
1924 to 25. And you say that you are any place that has the plague in it, so...
Well, I'm more so in a place where the sick are at, but I will give you a bit more explanation on that. If it is a disease, I'm there. It's not just tied to bubonic plague. It's more so a heavy disease, like COVID. A virus.
So, let's say... So where were you 2 years ago then?
I retract my answer. I I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was home sitting down with my rats, enjoying a nice cup of tea.
So, um, that's actually one of the things I was wondering about. Where do you? Well, I'm not asking for like super specific, but I'm like asking like, let's say, what country are you living in, or like maybe what city or so on, just so I can like get a view of who the plague nun is under the coronet.
Well, as far as this year goes, I want to say I've been residing in America. But as far as last year goes, I was around Korea.
Ah, interesting. Around which parts? Because I've actually visited like Korea a few times when I was in this universe. When I was in that universe, I mean, um, world. Sorry, the world. The proper term is world here. I've been to like parts of Seoul and Busan.
What? I think it was called Seoul actually. Once, hold up.
Oh,
I actually, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Seoul actually though. Seoul was, Seoul was a big tourist place too as well. Um, I think it definitely was Seoul. I think, I think it was Seoul or one that started with a G. I can't remember.
okay.
Uh,
Don't worry about that. But
what?
speaking of which, we have
I
another
think it's
redeem
one.
for a guest fact. Would you kindly give us a certain fact about yourself?
Okay, I believe it was Seoul. It was Seoul. I can remember. Yeah, it was Seoul.
Ah,
Okay. What's going on though? I apologize.
okay, don't worry
Wait,
about it.
you said I had another question?
Ah, yes. Not a question, but we have another redeem, which is the another guest fact, actually.
Oh, okay. A guess fact. A guess fact. Let's see. A fact about me again. Oh my god, these facts. Let's see. So this is not a fact about me specifically, but it is related to me.
Okay.
So keep in mind, a lot of people have the assumption nuns are supposed to be virgins or nuns can't have sex, which is actually very false. I and nuns' outfits are actually pertaining around their organization, and not all nuns are religious. Some are pertaining to organizations that revolve around a certain being. But as far as that mindset goes, my outfit actually originated from a cult.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cult pertaining to the god of oh my god, it's been so long. What have I,
um,
wait, what have I been doing in my life? Wait, there's no way. Wait, oh my god.
take your time.
Oh my god. I'm having like the biggest, I think I'm going crazy. As far as that goes, let me not go too deep into that one though. But as far as that goes, my outfit is originally from an organization that actually had a series of nuns. The organization is now disbanded now, but I can't talk too much on it for a secret sake. But I will let you know that we do believe in a God, and the God do want those who are sick to fall in line, and by in line I mean death.
Okay, I see. So the organization that you had also has uniforms based on what you're wearing right now,
Mm-hmm.
who believe in that when people get disease that they should die.
It's a mixture of my. So, as far as the God goes, it's a mixture of the sick are a way of judgment. If you are sick, your means that your sins are heavy, and those who have heavy sins should be guided to the light to be redeemed and reincarnated.
Okay, I think I kind of get that. But if you survive, that means your sins were very light. I'm assuming, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, okay. Can you tell us more about this organization of yours?
As far as like I said, the organization, as far as the organization now, it has been disbanded for a very long time. I think I want to assume there are people more out there, but as far as I know, I'm the only one that's currently still, alive. Which, obviously, being almost immortal makes me live a very long time. But as far as that goes, the organization did have a few others that were sisters, we called them, We
Yes.
had Sister Laurie, we had Was it Sister Mary? Not the Mary from the church.
Yeah,
Actually, it was a different.
a different
another
Mary.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's a
during
common
this
name.
time there. Yeah, it's very common. Let me see. There's a few others too. This is actually being put in my lore story eventually soon. Well, technically my my biography, but
Mhm.
as far as that goes, it was an organization based off just in a sense helping people.
Mhm.
So most of the plague doctors were also nuns, which again people see like, oh, you can't mix religion with science, but in a sense plague doctors were religious. If people didn't know that, plague doctors were very religious. They thought of curing those in the name of God. So being a plague doctor is actually very close to being a religious believer. I know, like, I'm not sure how far you did your research in, but yeah, plague doctors were also religious. Most of them did keep crosses on them.
Oh
Some of
yeah,
them
yeah.
were
I
actually
got that.
popes. Um, but yeah, the organization, I think it was around the time I was 19, I believe.
Mhm.
There was another case of an outbreak of the plague. I will say this one was caused by me, but I will say it was accident. I currently didn't have the control of my power at the time, so it. I do
Uh-huh.
apologize to the loved ones out there, all the lost ones out there. But as far as that goes, let's bygones be bygones. The organization did help. We try to keep everyone in line, try to help all the sick, knowing that it was my fault. Um, Sister Mary, who was another one of the close ones, I really wish Jess was there, but she didn't want to be part of it. But as far as that goes, I think Sister Mary was the only one that knew about my powers, except for my master.
Mhm. Yeah,
But we
definitely.
kept it a secret, and we tried to help people as best as we could during the times. We were just think of mobile medics in a
Yes,
sense.
like I'm assuming you guys can be somewhat compared to the modern day Red Cross organization.
I hate those guys, but yeah,
So it's because they have like a completely different system of beliefs, I'm assuming.
ideology. Yeah, entirely different ideologies. But yeah, and you've done your research. I'm actually surprised.
Oh yes, I like to do my research on a lot of people organizations. That's the whole reason I created this show actually. But yeah, just finding out interesting things about like the various doctors. But what I've noticed was, okay, we're gonna go on a tangent before moving to the next question about how a lot of plague doctors were not were well, yes, what you said earlier, were in they're actually like very religious to the point that they're not to the point where they could be priests, but to the point where they could be already considered part of the church. Because before, a lot of plague doctors, I'm just saying generally, not like your plague doctor that you know, Miss Master J. Um, what I've discovered, at least to an extent, was something interesting about their outfits. First off, is the obvious one which a lot of people know about. The beak mask had a quote unquote medieval filtration system.
With the herbs in it.
Yep, yeah, definitely with the herbs in it, because they thought that the herbs can stop the bad air, which is what everyone thought that the was causing the plague, even though we only found out later that it's actually the fleas. But yes, it was the bad air that caused the disease. But because of this mindset, that how the bad air can give you the what's the term here? Can give you the plague. They also thought, why don't we make suits that were borderline airtight by making essentially trench coats lathered in wax? The reason why this actually kept them alive is because not by keeping out the bad air, but by stopping the fleas from like latching on, because the wax was actually dangerous to the fleas. So I just
Yeah, it was.
I just found like
It was
all
a
this
pretty silly
interesting,
thing.
yeah.
Well, oh my, like I'm okay. I have to give you props. I have to give you a 10 out of 10 because you're the first person I actually did a lot of research on it. Like as far as my lore goes, I do like like to dig back to some ancient type of Roman type. Well, not Roman, but like
Yeah.
medieval times, but like a lot of people don't know too much about it. So I'm actually really happy to talk to someone about this. So
Oh,
I appreciate it.
definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you also for like noticing. I just found a lot of like interesting things about plague doctors throughout the years, and of course, like with recent research, just finding out more things about how what was once seen as like I think I do recall like back in my childhood when there was a plague doctor, people were scared. Only later that I realized they were scared because the only reason there'd be a plague doctor is if there was a plague.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that he did bring it with him, it's that he appears to where danger is at. So it's like this whole thing about how humans perceive like things, you know.
They're afraid of what's not. They're afraid of the unknown.
Exactly. It's like a a the A effect happens and then suddenly B is around, but they don't realize that C is actually the cause. So if A and B are together, therefore A and B are correlated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, pretty much like that. Which is it's very interesting for the human mind to be like that because, you know, as far as psychological goes, it's like more of a trained mindset to fear what you do not know, only because death is always around the corner, and we
Yeah.
are taught that at a very young age.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's also what stops human, makes them more selfish, which again,
Also true. To put on a weird note, we also have a lot of people around the world, US, UK, some parts of plenty of parts of China, destroying 5G towers because they set up 5G towers at the same time Corona started. Therefore, 5G causes Corona.
Yeah, I heard of that, and I was just like, okay, so I do want to say a little bit that the 5G towers actually do cause a bit of, so it does correlate to cancer a little bit as far as the statistic goes in the I apologize. The the radioactive, also the radio interface does when it passes through your body. Radio towers, the stronger they are, the more it goes into humans' bodies. We don't understand it because it doesn't. We don't see it. We don't see
Sure.
it. But as far as that goes, it does have a sense of activating a cancer and a good 2% speed process. It was designed, if you look it up too as well. But it does speed up your active of cancer, has been known to, because it has a sort of like, I think it's called microwave signals in a sense. Is it radio signal? I apologize, I'm like going everywhere today, but in a sense it did cause the speeding of cancer. But like I said, human bodies adapt to it, and as generations go, we will get more and more adapt to these type of frequencies, making us more stronger rather than weaker to these sort of waves. Because again, we've only had technology for technology as in like electronics for only a good 200 years.
Yeah, roughly 200 years. Yeah.
And so it wasn't. We had enough to only do one evolution, but as far as the other one goes, we still need to evolve a bit more and more. Like we had electronics a little bit farther back, a little bit more too, but they weren't as
Advanced.
Yeah, they're kind of just like there. Like we had our lights, and we had lights, lamps. But yeah, as far as now goes, we are getting more and more better with things, and we're going to the advanced stages, which means give it like a 200, 300 more years, and we see evolution in humans, such as like potential superpowers.
Oh yeah,
As you
definitely.
can see from me, I was skipped a little bit ahead of generations, but it will be more common eventually coming up.
Definitely. So we have actually another redeem for a guest fact, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Actually, we have 3 redeems for guest fact. I should really put a stop on this, at a timer on this. But, would you kindly?
I got you. Give me one moment, please.
No problem.
No more. Okay, hold up. Sorry. I had to take it. My throat was like really dry now.
Don't worry about it.
Um. So, you said three facts.
Yes, please.
Three facts. So, one fact is I only had three sex partners. Another fact is, usually for my patients, if they're dying, if their last wish is to have their dick sucked, I will suck their dick. As a third fact, let me see here.
Sorry, what was the
started
second one?
streaming- What second one?
Okay, so the first one is that you only had three partners. What's the second one?
What are you talking about? I don't
Second
say
fact.
Second one. I don't know. We're saying second fact.
Okay, never mind. Continue.
Third fact. So third fact is pretty much I've only been streaming for 6 months. Here we go. Boom.
Sorry?
I've only been streaming for 6 months.
Ah. Okay.
Those are the three facts.
Okay. I see. So going back, I want to like discuss something that I found really interesting that we were discussing earlier about fear, about how people fear, what do you call this? People fear what they don't understand, right?
Uh-huh.
I was doing some research on power generation, and I found something that was really, really funny and also interesting.
Stress correlates to energy.
Yes. It happened during the 1910s to 1920s. So like when people were still just having power lines like being set up like near their houses, right?
Uh-huh.
I found out that there was like a lot of propaganda posters, like because this was like the time when Nikola Tesla and Edison were like having their like current wars, right? People's perspectives were hilarious because it did not make any sense to an extent, to us at least at the time. But reading more about it, it wasn't because they were oh no, electricity is scary, run away from it because electricity can touch your body and you'll die. That wasn't what they were afraid of. They were afraid of how poorly made a lot of these were. Because there have been known cases that somebody was just walking by, there was like a super windy day, and then one of the power lines fell and killed them.
Oh.
They weren't afraid. They were not afraid of power lines itself. They were afraid of poorly made power lines. And if you saw like what a quote unquote city power line looked like, it was just one big tower and every house was like connected by one wire. So it looked like a gigantic eldritch being just like attacking all these houses. And if one of those gets cut, someone definitely might die.
Yeah, they had some questionable things back then as well, which I will admit that I may have some influence on some of them, but live and learn.
Yeah, I think live and learn is like the motto of humanity right now.
Yeah. Well, live and live and live and then learn, then forget, then live, then live, then live, then learn, and then forget one more time, and then just redo it but make it better. That's all. Literally humans. I've been around for so long. It's kind of funny. It's more like a comedy thing where it's like, hey, let's see how many times we're gonna do this. Let's see how many times. Oh, so we got World War II already. Okay, we got 2 World Wars. That's cool. Oh wow, we had some civil wars as well. That's cool. Humans are pretty smart. Oh wow, you're fighting over this. Oh, that's the dumbest reason ever. But hey, continue. Oh, now we're having Russian invade Ukraine because Putin's having one of those type of like backstory PTS flashbacks about the old lands.
Yeah.
Wow, that's you're gonna kill millions of people just because you believe Mother Russia should be number 1 again. Okay, thank God we live in a society. But yeah,
We live in a society.
yeah, we live in a society. But I'm here, but I'm not here, so I won't be here for long. Like I'm here. I'm out here helping people. So as far as just VTubing go, people call me a VTuber. I don't know what that means, but like as far as like VTubing goes, personally I feel like it's more of those things where I'm just here,
Yeah.
But I want to help people. So as far as helping people goes, I feel like this is a good standpoint. But there's always better alternatives, such as the physical implementation of giving those the closure they need to reach the heavens.
Okay, I see that is very admirable. There are some people who really just do need help out there, and I'm glad that there's someone who's looking out to them. Um, Actually, I've discovered some things about nunneries that I just want to like get your like 2 cents on. It's I mean, considering that you are a nun, I've heard about some things about how plenty of nuns, at least particularly in Europe, have been former prostitutes. Can you confirm or deny that?
Again, considering I was one, I have to confirm that yes, that is true. Some of them actually do it for religious reasons, you know. Like I said again before another pet. I'm sorry, I'm like my voice is really raspy today.
Got it.
But as far as the other things go, like I said, some of the facts I stated, one was I was a prostitute. Two was that nuns can have sex. Nuns aren't bound to being virgins, so them having sex, even if it's under the Lord's name, is still a justified reason to do it. Most of them do it for the church, so it's sometimes sometimes the churches are having foreclosure or they're bound to be shut down. So prostituting the nuns out did help raise money. It wasn't very sanitary during the time, but at the same time, it still helped.
It worked, right?
Yeah, out of 10, it worked 7 out of 10 times.
Okay, that's a pretty reasonable risk, I suppose.
Yeah, most of the times, this can get dark and grim, but when it didn't work out, majority of the nuns did, kind of off themselves because they couldn't live with failing God.
Okay. I suppose that's just like the extremist. That's how some people view it, right?
It was pretty dark. It was pretty dark out here, honestly.
I can definitely see that. I'm just trying to like visualize like something that you said earlier. Since you can have sex, wouldn't it be like beneficial to humanity if you bore offspring?
I physically can't.
Ah.
I have to give my body up to research to my master. It pretty much, also as as being born with the plague, I assume, with my physique and stuff like that, it would be sense, to give, offspring birth, which makes them more compatible with the plague, making them more stronger, making them more smarter in a sense, because with their knowledge
and having kids with immunity.
So that was actually my first partner. We tried that actually, and as you know, did not work out. And they left me because I couldn't produce a child. But as far as the other two partners, they were just the run of the chicken, more of like testing with humans.
Okay, I see. But so that sucks. But it's just a perspective of some people, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
actually,
a lot of people want to breed me for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm pretty sure it has something to do with your. Actually, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my personality? I know. I
yes, your personalities. Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, it's definitely that.
I don't see. God damn it! I was told, you're like, oh, you got such a big personality. I was, oh, thank you. I like to, be cheery and happy and everything like that. And then people was like, oh yeah, that too. I was like, what? And I was just like, okay.
So let's move on to the next question. We're on the home stretch now, actually. Home stretch of the last questions. So, considering that you have plenty of mice, keeping you company, I was wondering, what do you do in your spare time? If you're not helping people or spreading the plague, what do you do with your mice or by yourself? Like just generally, do you have any hobbies that people don't know of?
Watch porn.
Anything else?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. As far as
I mean, not yet.
As far as, you know. As far as like free time goes, what do? I actually do a multitude of things. Right now, I'm learning how to draw. I am a video editor. I'm also
Hell
learning
yeah!
how to do, so I took into myself, after being alive for so long, I realized, I know. Wait, are you human, right?
No, but I get
Okay,
human traits. But go on.
I do want to apologize in advance, to all those humans out there. I realize humans are, unreliable. So,
Yes.
the only person you can rely on is yourself. So I kind of mastered a lot of the crafts of everything. On my free time, I like to do what you like to call rigging. Rigging. I'm learning art. I currently am also, been video editing for a while, so I do make videos. I do what the kids call nowadays the TikTok. I do a little TikTok. As far as that goes, and let me see what else do I do. I do like
Speaking of
go
which,
out
to
for
the
walks.
viewers, you can check her out here. Her TikTok is linked up. But yes, continue. You were saying about your editing.
But yeah, as far as editing goes, I've been editing for like 2 years now. And let me think. I go out for walks because I always nice to get some fresh air. So as far as helping people goes, is that just like, do you mean? Because I do VTubing actually,
Yeah.
or what people call VTubing, but more so I do just streaming. I stream. Other than that, you know I work. Let me see, what else do I do on my free time? Oh, and I read mangas.
Oh,
Yeah, I read
hell
mangas.
yeah. What kind of mangas are you reading now lately?
Let me pull them up. There's actually too many to list, so I'll just list one of my top 5.
Okay.
Right now, I'm not even joking, I have 847 mangas currently being read right now. Let me see.
That is a lot. Holy fuck. It took me a second to like comprehend like how many that was.
712 are already caught up. So I'm still catching up to the rest of them, but majority of them are already caught up on them. Just waiting for
Dang,
them to
okay.
I read like 50 chapters a day at least. Let me see. So right now my favorite one is Magic Emperor. Who's
Magic
pretty
Emperor.
much
Okay.
yeah, he's pretty much a bad person. Like he's a demon king, or no, a demon emperor who got pretty much killed, betrayed by his loyal subject,
Sure.
or his disciple, pretty much. And he got transferred to a new body, and this body was that of a wimpy kid and stuff like that. And he pretty much had to start from the ground up, but because he was a new body, he still had to abide by the body's rules, and the body wanted to protect, because the body was that of a servant, and they wanted to protect their master, which was this girl who was in a dying clan. And so, as a demon, he didn't really care, but the body would have killed itself if he didn't do it. So he was forced to protect his clan, and now he's like helping his clan while also doing evil things. I love it. It's really good. I don't want to ramble too much about that.
Don't worry about it.
For hours.
It's
I'm
nice
thinking,
hearing
like,
when people talk about what they love,
Yeah. As far as like that, I'm just gonna do top 3. I don't, cause like I can ramble all day about these, so I'm just gonna do top 3.
Fair enough.
My second one is called Beyond Married People. Beyond Married People is pretty much about this human who got. You're gonna see a little you're gonna see a little pattern here.
Isekai.
But as far as this, yeah, yeah, I love isekai. Okay, I love it. I literally like 80% of my mangas are isekais, but not all of them, no, like a good 20%, which is still a lot, are
Mhm.
not. They're like romance and horror and stuff. Anyways, that's beside the point. Beyond Married Peoples is pretty much a guy who got not reincarnated, who got transferred to another world.
Mhm.
But he was given powers by God. God was like, "Here, I'm gonna give you ultimate power, but you can't cultivate." I'm not sure if you know about cultivation though, but as far as like cultivators, you gotta like it's like Dragon Ball Z, you gotta like train and you get power up and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I get
It
that.
was during the Chinese eras where like cultivation, like you gotta eat herbs or do yada yada. Anyways,
Ah, okay.
it's just Dragon Ball Z powering up in a sense,
Sure.
but with training. As far as that goes, he was sent to the world. God was like, "Here, you get all these super cool, amazing powers, but you can't cultivate."
You
And
can't
he was like,
train. Okay.
"What is the point of all these powers when I can't really use them because I can't cultivate to get to that power level to use them?" And so God was like, "Yeah, I'll give you some some tasks to do. Every time you do these tasks, you get new powers that you can use." And he was like, "Oh, okay." So he has to basically like master chess, master painting, master doing everything. And God gave him powers to be the best at chess, the best painter, the best at most silliest thing, the best fisher. And he's like, "These are all just stupid. Why would you give me the best? I don't want to be the best fisher. I don't want to be the best musician. These are garbage, especially in a world where everyone has like powers." He's like, I'm just a weak human at this point. And so he goes around thinking he's like the weakest person there that just has like stupid powers. They weren't even powers. They're literally just like abilities that like enhance. He's just really good at guitar. Like he can just play it really good.
Sure.
And he was just like, this is stupid. I'm your literally like gods, and I'm like I have the like least power. But little did he know, all those powers he were given, he was at God level with those powers. So he was a God level musician, a God level painter. So when he paints
Okay.
something, he has the power of God. When he does music, it basically empowers himself and everyone around him if he wants, or weakens them. But he doesn't know that because in his eyes it looks normal. So everyone around him sees him as a god, while he he thinks he's immortal.
What's this
And
manga called?
it's called Beyond Married People. It has 146 chapters right
Beyond Married People. Okay. Okay.
now. Yeah. So like it's funny because he sees himself as just weak, and he does everything like normal human things.
Mm-hmm.
But like the things he do, like he literally uses a kitchen. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to the next manga, but I just want to say this one part was my favorite part.
Yeah.
So like there was this clan. They were having like a clan war. Two clans, they hate each other. Long war. One clan got stronger than the other, so they went to destroy them. So the weak clan ran away and found themselves at this mortal's house.
Uh-huh.
And pretty much the mortal was like, "Hey, what are you doing with my property?" And they're like, "Oh, we just find some place to hide," and stuff like that. And then they looked at him. He's like, "Oh god, he has like super god powers." I'm sorry, oh great one, oh great one. He's like, "Wait, why are you calling me great one? I'm immortal." What? He's like, it's like, "Oh, okay." So everyone assumes he's playing mortal, so they're all playing along with him. So it makes it even worse.
Oh my god, I can see.
Yeah, yeah. So like he thinks he's immortal, but he's like pretty much God. They know he's God, but he's pretending to be immortal, so they're all playing alongside him. Anyways, he was, during the time he was like cooking and stuff like that, so he had a kitchen knife.
Uh-huh.
The guy seen the kitchen knife. It was a God level kitchen knife. And he was like,
It's normal.
He's like, can I borrow that? He's like, "Why, do you want to cook something like that?" He was like, yeah, I would love to cook with your. He's like, I mean, it's just a dumb kitchen knife, sure. So he gave the guy the kitchen knife. The guy was like, thank you, oh great one, thank you so much." So he ran back to the battle
And
versus and the guy was like, "Oh, you came back for more? Just when I was about to destroy your clan?" He was like, "I came back with something special." He pulled out the kitchen knife.
okay.
He pulled out the kitchen knife, and the guy was laughing. He was like, "You're gonna beat me with a kitchen knife?" So the guy slashed, like he tried to slash the guy, but missed with the kitchen knife. And the kitchen knife literally almost split the world in half.
Oh my god. Okay.
And the stronger clan
Mhm.
literally gave up. They're like, "All right, you
They
win."
just saw and gave up. So it's some like
Yeah.
One Punch Man shit right there.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's like One Punch Man. If they didn't know, they could one punch. You know?
Okay, okay, I see, I see. That sounds amusing. So
I
to
really,
chat,
I really
that's
become an
called
anime.
Beyond Married People, right?
Yeah, I'll type it in. Chat. I'm pretty sure I'm saying merit wrong, but I'll type it in. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Myriad People. Okay, okay.
Myriad people. Okay, I
I thought it was like
apologize. I'll put you
married
in the
people.
group.
That was like, I'm not seeing the romance here.
No, that's all right. Yeah, no, it's pretty comedic. He does have some harem, I guess.
Okay.
There is one scene where like there's like his team, and you know what? I'm gonna go to the next manga. I can talk. I can go on forever, and
Okay,
I don't
okay.
wanna. I don't wanna do that.
No problem, no
Um,
problem. I'm looking at like some frames and I can see exactly what you're talking about right now.
Yeah. Let me see the next one. Martial Peak was too much. All right, let me see that. Okay, I'm gonna find one that is an isekai. So
I mean,
this
it's fine if
one,
it's isekai.
so this, I know that, but I running traction with me, and it's a problem. But here's another one, which is actually takes place in Rome. So it's called The Long Way of the Warrior. Pretty
Ah.
much this guy pretty much was a Japanese warrior
Mm-hmm.
during a time where they had a little Japanese fight, and he started off as a orphan too. But he
Uh-huh.
was picked up by a general. The general trained him, and he got super strong pretty much. Like he magic or anything here. There was literally no magic. It was just normal people that just knew how to use swords and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
No magic here. It's literally just normal. Anyways, this is a story about a warrior pretty much. He fell in love with a princess at a young age. He was like 6 years old. He's like, I want to protect her. I love her. And the general was like, to protect her, you got to become the strongest. So, you know, years of training, he became the strongest to the point he became her bodyguard, her private bodyguard.
Yeah.
And the princess knew that he loved her, but at the same time, he was a commoner. But, you know, obviously, like, yada yada. So, after him being by her, all he wanted to do was be by her side, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
But then war happened, and she became a prisoner of war. She got captured. He killed a bunch of people. Like he was going crazy for her.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who started the war was his own general, the person who trained him.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and he sold the princess off. There was a reason for that, because basically the king was corrupted, and the princess obviously, you know. Anyways, he didn't care. The king was corrupted. He didn't care. He only cared about the princess. He did anything for her. He even killed his own master. But anyways, he literally he didn't know the princess was, so he pretty much lost all hope. And he got kidnapped and became a prisoner of war. So you know how prisoners of war, they got to deal with the. So anyways, he got purchased by the Rome. The Rome purchased him, and he was now in Rome. He was fighting in Colosseums.
Oh, so he became like a gladiator.
Yup, he became exactly a gladiator. And pretty much he was a person that gave up hope. Like when you first seen him, he was literally skinny. He didn't care about anything. He wanted to die pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wanted to die, but he didn't want to like die on his own terms. So he just didn't do anything. He got beat up for not listening to the gladiator instructor. He got hung up by a tree because he was being insubordinate. But he didn't care. He didn't have will to live after the princess is gone. But when he found out the princess was alive, he turned into a badass. Like he literally started going hardcore killing on gladiator folk. It's like if you get enough kills, and the king of Rome, pretty much, if you gain recognition from the king of Rome, you can gain your freedom.
Okay.
And he pretty much, got the interest of the king of Rome. But the king of Rome was a sociopath. He believed that he was Hercules reincarnated. So, like, he's fucking strong. Like, he literally destroyed an entire building with one hand. Like, he's literally
The
god
king.
tier strong. The king of Rome, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after his father, because like before his father died, before he became king, like everyone thought he was like a drunk. Like he always got drunk every day, party, it's like that.
Yeah.
So everyone thought he was like a slob. So when his dad died, you know how they have like the round table where there's other people discuss yada yada, other
Sure.
people giving their opinion. Pretty much, they thought of like using him because they thought he was just a dumb drunk, and he try to using him and like, taking money behind his back and then trying to kill him because he was useless.
Oh, yeah.
They tried to. He snapped and literally killed everyone that tried to betray him. Killed their families. Grabbed a little pillar, smacked all the private guards and killed them as well. Like he's pretty strong and crazy, but he was trying to fight the warrior. He was like, all right, I can't wait to butter you up and get you nice and strong so I can fight you. So basically, he's like making the warrior go through all these hard trials to get even stronger because he wants to fight him next. And once he fights him, he's gonna gain his freedom. But he's looking for Princess. That story, honestly, it's like a love story, but like not as like fantasy.
Not quite.
based.
What's it called again? Lone Warrior? Lone Warrior?
The long way of the warrior.
A Long Way of the Warrior. Okay.
Yeah.
You've
It's,
caught up yet, or is it finished?
It's still it's still being written. It's 94 chapters. All the mangas I told you are still being written. Majority of my mangas aren't complete because I like to read newer ones and stuff like that. So like I said, I have a lot I have on my plate right now. And I read because I work at home, so I have a lot of time to read at home. So like that's why I say I read like around 50 chapters. Sometimes maybe 200, but most of the time usually 50 to 100 I read every day. Like literally every day. So yeah.
I see. So what's your last manga you want to share with us?
That was all three, but if you want a fourth one, sure.
Oh, okay. Wait. So we have The Long with the Warrior. We have Beyond the Myriad Peoples, and the first one was
Magic Emperor.
that's why it's called. Okay. I see.
Yeah, I'm saying because I have a lot more, but like if you want,
It's fine. Honestly, I actually also have a lot of like manga on my plate, but I just haven't had the time to read. Literally, the only manga I'm following right now is Elf Can't Diet.
I hate you.
You know that, don't you?
I do know it.
Let's go!
I read every last manga. Like literally, I know how much of them are isekai, but I still read other ones too. And the Elf Diet one is so cute. Like
Let's go!
It's, really cute. It's so cute, but I feel like they should. I really want them to release more chapters more faster.
Right! I was waiting fucking 3 months for that shit!
Yeah, they need to release more faster, but it's really cute. It's cute. It's like wholesome and cute. I'll give it that. It's really wholesome and cute.
I'm actually working on a this is a tip for people who are watching and you of course, but one of my first videos was actually based around why you should read this manga. Like one of my first videos on my YouTube channel, which you also should check out, was based on why this manga, that this is a really good manga that you don't know about, and Elf Can Diet. And then I'm preparing for a new video which will actually deal with one of the latest chapters and one of the life lessons that they actually teach in there, which you should definitely check out.
I'll definitely check it out.
Not just you. I mean, like chat, because I know that you're into it. But so this is great. This is great. I'm so glad that you know Elf Can't Diet.
Listen, I am a degenerate through and through.
Let's go. Okay. Before we go on to another like 20-hour tangent on like manga, we should move on to the next burning question. Let's second to the last one actually. So yeah, we discussed a lot of just manga. I'm looking at the time, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's nice knowing that even though you still have responsibilities, not only to your rats but also to your self. It's nice that you have time as a plague nun to read some manga.
Oh yeah. You always gotta sit down and enjoy life, for a bit, because chaos can follow anywhere in any way.
We got another redeem from Sister Simply for another guest fact.
I hate Sister Simply. He's evil. But can I add another fact of me? Let's see. Let me see. What's a good fact? Yeah, I think I said most of them. Most of the good ones.
It can be like a small
Okay.
fact or a big fact,
That's the thing. Like I'm very bad at like remembering facts about myself. Like I know a bunch of facts, but at the same time, we're like, which ones are interesting? You know? Let's see.
Okay, how about we give a little hint to a little hint. Let's say, what's your favorite food?
Okay, you know what? That works too. My favorite food is baked beans.
Ah, just baked beans itself, or like, are we talking like baked pork and beans?
No, just baked beans.
Oh, interesting. Do you eat with rice or like as a taco, or just like you spoon it from the can?
I spoon it from the can. Well, that's how I used to live, anyways. But yeah.
Same. I actually used to do it a lot too.
Going, back day, it was also a struggle. So you had to just do it.
Do what you do. But in my case, I did recently now with beans with a can of peaches, which some people can check out my Twitter. I was craving peaches, and I didn't have the energy to like place it in a bowl, so I just like fork, poke, eat.
Oh my gosh.
It was scuffed.
I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to live. Gotta feed that hunger.
Okay, but seriously, let's move on to the next burning question, which was about what are your opinions of rats and diseases lately? With games like Dishonored Part 1 and movies like James Gunn's Suicide Squad and the rat lady, I'm already forgetting her name. But what are your opinions on media showing rats not necessarily in a good light, but in a way that can help a hero?
How do I ban you from your own stream? How do I do that?
Sorry?
How do I ban you from the stream? You didn't mention tell it. There's a little game called Plague Tale. You literally.
Plague Tale. Oh my gosh, that's right. How did I forget that?
You went to
I forgot
Dishonored.
about Plague Tale. Right.
But there's actually a new one coming out on my birthday. But
Oh.
yeah, I know it's crazy. Like literally on my birthday.
You already pre-ordered that shit, right?
Of course I did. I had to. I have the medal. But yeah, as far as those games go, putting rats in a good light, I do want to say I like the implementation of putting rats in and using them to your advantage, which is actually something really cool. As far as Plague Tale goes, I like how they implemented the storyline behind it all, with the whole how Red came up, and how the brother has the power to control rats as well, which is something in genuine touch with me. I can
I haven't played Plague Tale yet. I didn't know that.
What happened?
I never played Plague Tale yet. I
Did
didn't
I
know that
just
the brother
spoil
can
it for you?
control rats. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I was bound to find it out anyway since part 2 was coming out anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, by this point, it's been on for like 2 years now, and then the new game comes out like literally next month.
Yeah. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll continue.
Well, the brother doesn't control rats, but yeah, and he doesn't anymore. Forget that. I'm joking. But, no, listen, it's weird because on part 2, it actually tells you that too. It tells you like, hey, the brother controls rats. It literally tells you that on the second one as well, just like straight up on the trailer. If you watch the trailer for the second one, just like, yeah, brother controls rat, and have fun with that. Fuck you. Anyway, I literally just doesn't even hide it. It's just like, yeah, you can also control rats and they have different abilities. And you're just like, wait, what about the what? But yeah, as far as that goes, I want to say I really love it. I just love the fact of just there's actually a mouse game coming out. Have you heard of the game called Cats?
Oh yes, I heard.
No,
I saw
sorry.
about the rats one. Yeah, the mice one.
That one's coming out. Yeah. I can't wait for it to come out. But as far as like the rats being in games, I do say they do give them a good light. As far as like anything else, I have not seen a rat in a bad light. Like I haven't, like in any game I'm thinking about, I haven't seen rats being used in a bad light.
I mean,
Never played that like in the beginning because it tells the story of the rats, but I can't name a game that's had bad rats. So yeah, I'm actually happy with the gaming industry.
I actually just realized we completely forgot to mention one very famous rat. Ratatouille.
Also thinking a brain. Oh,
Remy from Ratatouille.
God fucking damn it! I Alright, you know what? Maybe okay, you have a nice one. I'm just gonna no, I'm joking. But no, Ratatouille is a hack. I'm sorry, I love them, but that movie was an entire abomination.
You didn't like
was a
it?
hack. I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy it. I'm sorry. I just didn't enjoy it.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
I didn't enjoy it because it felt like they were just making fun of the rats rather than showing the rats in good light. Like, oh my god, look, a cooking rat. That's cool. Oh my god, he's being controlled and not being given the famous. Like towards the end, they gave the rat, you know, the credit they needed, but before
Yeah.
that, it was just like, it was kind of like, eh. And then didn't they make a Ratatouille 2 or something?
I don't think they have made one yet, but I'm not sure what would be the plot of that.
Really? They did? I thought they did. Okay, maybe I'm crazy. Wait, did they not? I forgot to spell Ratatouille.
Same. I'm looking it up. This is not
Oh,
an
yeah,
actual
no.
trailer. It's not an actual trailer.
Okay. Maybe I'm crazy then. Okay, never mind. Wait, but there's a lot of speculation around it now.
What would be the plot, though?
It's coming out in 2023.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now also. It'll be
There's a bunch though.
Okay then. I suppose we'll see eventually in 1 year if there's gonna be a part 2.
I doubt that, but you know, it is something to be interested in.
We are getting like so many recommendations from like that. We have Master Splinter, we have Chuck E. Cheese, Stuart Little.
I hate it here.
That's a good point, Chad. That's a good point.
Stuart Little, hate him. He's a little smartass. Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese is terrifying.
Yeah, literally a mockery of Reds. The new one though, actually, is they give it more quality, which I'll give it that. Have you seen his son?
Chuck E. Cheese has a son?
Yeah, for like 5 years now.
I don't. Okay, give me a sec. I need to look this up. Chuck E. Cheese son. Chuck E. Oh, okay. I think they made him look more cartoony and less terrifying. That's good.
Yeah. He was like Chuck E. Cheese Jr. or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, he's like pretty much the younger version of Chucky, more enthusiastic, more happy and free like a going, rather than just an old rat person who is really literally it's like Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's be honest here.
That's true.
But yeah, he's just more younger and hipper, and I guess
Absolutely less terrifying.
Oh yeah, definitely 100%. I used to actually, oh my god, I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid because my mom was always it, which I did, but at the same time, it was kind of like just But yeah, I was going to Chuck E. Cheese a lot.
How did we
and it
forget
was,
Mickey Mouse?
Oh my god, speaking of Mickey Mouse, how dare you?
Actually, we
Oh,
probably should be
goodness.
talking about Mickey Mouse. We might get like struck down by the Disney gods.
Yeah, that's why you gotta talk about huh? Dickie the mouse. Listen, for popular reason, my name is Dickie. You're that Dickie the mouse, not Mickey, Dickie. Now I gotta get that big old dick in it.
Oh my god!
But it's good. It's not copyright, so you're fine. But yeah, so every time I get a little too happy. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Oh, that's great.
Hey, we got Pikachu. What? Pikachu. Pikachu's technically a mouse. It's a mouse type Pokemon.
I kept thinking that Pikachu was a cat, honestly, like when I was younger.
Can we ban crazy? Thank you. Can we ban crazy?
Don't worry, I know better now.
But no. As far as Pikachu goes, I wouldn't really count the Pokemon Fantasy World to be as part of like, you know, close as the rat family as actual shown rats or actual like pictographic rats. There's like Mickey Mouse, Stuart. Like Mickey Mouse is a mouse, you know, a cartoony mouse, but
Sure.
he's still shown as a mouse. Pikachu's literally yellow. Like I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. That makes a lot of sense. Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry's a mouse though.
Yeah,
Like Tom and Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I fucking love Jerry. Honestly, he is the MVP of trolling.
True.
He is literally the MVP. He literally okay. Does it get a little depressing? I'm not sure if you guys ever watched Tom and Jerry. Have you?
Yeah, I watched Tom and
cool.
Jerry. There were like some of those like parts where I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, when Tom was feeling like down the line, suicidal, and Jerry was just like being comfy in his own like little couch after he got kicked out.
Yep.
It was pretty fucked up, but yeah.
I've actually recall like reading this thing about how Tom actually just pretends to like hunt down Jerry because he doesn't want Jerry to be caught. Like he doesn't want Tom to be replaced by a deadlier cat because Jerry would be put in actual danger. And I found that like this is actually like confirmed by like some of the writers.
Yeah, it was actually one of the episodes as well when they made an agreement because there's actually it was 3 times actually. There was one time where they had like a bunch of new cats coming in.
Oh yeah,
and,
I remember now.
Jerry,
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a way to kick them out. And there was another time where it was actually a new mouse that came in. It wasn't the little one. It was
The jacked one.
yeah. It was a different mouse that came in and like was really like aggressive with stealing and stuff like that. And the mom, not the mom, but the owner of Tom,
Yeah.
she didn't like him. She was threatening to kick Tom out if they didn't have the mouse taken care of. Which Jerry actually helped out with getting rid of them.
Oh, I remember that now. I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, so that so like it wasn't like said in notes and everything like that, but it was definitely shown in the episodes. I think it was like 3 to 4 episodes that had something like that. But yeah, they definitely do help each other when it's needed.
It's still nice to know that they really are just friends and they're just pretending to be like all these shenaniganry.
Oh no, Tom really wants to kill Jerry.
Okay, fair enough.
but like Tom actually like, so they're like the mindset of like, okay, let's put our heads together when there's a common enemy. But then go like to being enemies and when there's not,
Okay, I can see that. Wait,
So,
what
like,
are your
Tom,
opinion on
like-
cats then?
Wait, my opinion?
Yes. Considering that
Oh.
you have an army of mice and of course you have your your pet. I mean, what's the name? Reddy?
Ready. Yeah.
Yes. Like, what are your opinion on
Oh.
cats?
I actually hate cats. I hate cats.
That's acceptable. That makes sense.
I purely hate cats. Not even just for the right reason either. It's just that they're just there, They just sit there and do really nothing. While rats actually have a lot of more scientific use as well as they're more able than cats, believe it or not.
Like more intelligent.
Yeah, they're actually I wouldn't say more intelligent, unfortunately. I love my rats, but I wouldn't say they're more intelligent than cats. They're more so they're bound to a structural pattern that makes it easier to follow. Just like you put the cheetah into a maze, they're bound to remember that maze. You put them over and over, and they're bound to remember the maze's structure. But as far as that goes, but they aren't really like necessarily like super intelligent,
Mhm.
but they are good at following a pattern, like ants. Ants have like little lines they follow.
Yeah.
It's something like that in a sense, But rats, they follow like a little leader of the pack, and they're more obedient too,
Okay.
But as far as obedience goes, I don't really like to control my little rat fellows.
Just letting them do their thing, huh?
Conversate with them. Other than that, I let them walk freely. Most of them choose to be near me, so which is a good thing. But yeah, as far as that goes.
Okay. So I think it's time for the last burning question, which actually isn't a question in itself. It's more of an observation. So, let's see. Let's look at the facts here. Well, there's an orphan girl. She's friends with plenty of rats, and has a mysterious parental figure. Am I the only one who realizes that this is basically Cinderella? Are you Basically Cinderella.
I thought Cinderella was the one with the glass slipper, right?
Hmm?
I thought wait, I'm so confused. Cinderella has a glass slipper,
Yes.
and then a fairy made. I. Can we ban crazy? You know what? I'm going full JoJo on you. I'm pulling out my enemy stand.
Am I wrong here?
That's it. You've triggered my you. You have to give yourself.
Well,
Okay, as far as Cinderella goes, I don't want to say I'm her. I don't know. I feel like Cinderella and me are two different people. Plus, she is more like Percy. You know, got the whole. Like, how does a glass slipper not fit anyone else? Like, that makes no sense. But anyways,
yeah.
you know, to wear my own boots in my mouth. I hate Cinderella. I hate the movie. I hate most of Disney movies besides like the newest ones are there are a few good ones, but majority of the classics are all really dark and grim and
Yeah.
revolved around pretty much like I don't want to say the word, but yeah, it's really creepy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, but going down to brass tacks, she's Gwenmara is essentially Cinderella. Gwinderella. We're gonna go with that. So that is all of the burning questions. Did you enjoy your time here on Burning Questions, Gwen?
Where did I put this? Where is it at? Where is it? One second. I think it's like over here. Is it over here? It is over here. Ah, yes, it's over here. My favorite thing. Yes, I did enjoy my time. Did you enjoy your time?
I enjoyed my time realizing plenty of things about you that are really interesting that I feel like a lot of people should definitely know more about. But regardless, this was Burning Questions. This was Gwenderella. Do you have any last words to speak to the audience about how you viewed this Burning Questions? Or not really how you viewed, but just like generally. Like your experience. Did you enjoy your time here in Burning Questions? And any final words to speak to the chat?
Can we cut the commercial break while I dissect somebody, please? I got a little experiment of my own here, you know. But yeah, I enjoyed my time here. It was very, very amazing. I really enjoyed it. Thank you all for stopping by as well. I appreciate you all, those who have come from my thing. I did post about it, so I appreciate those who stopped by as well to look at Crazy being dissected. But yeah, as far as that goes, I appreciate you for having me on here today. It was a very amazing day, you know. I completely read the time wrong, but you know, on top of that, it's perfectly fine because you know
We made it.
you won't be here to to witness that. So yeah.
So yeah, assuming that I survive this, our next guest for next week might be Zephyrus, who some of you might know from Augustus' streams. But yes, if you guys want to check that out, please tune in again next week for next week's Burning Questions, assuming I survive this. So everyone, I will see you next week. Bye-bye!